Why do some leaders command a room without saying a word, while others struggle to make an impact even when they speak up? The answer isn't just charisma or experience, it's a set of habits and skills that most professionals overlook. Executive presence comes down to three interconnected pillars: self-awareness, communication mastery, and strategic influence. When you understand how these elements work together, you can close the credibility gap and lead with confidence. Today, we'll break down a practical framework that top executives use to project authority and earn trust, starting with the often misunderstood signals you send before you ever speak. If you're new here, please subscribe and like, because I share tips to help you improve your career. The silent authority formula centers on recognizing and correcting the subtle cues that shape how others perceive your leadership. Many professionals assume their intent is obvious, but studies show that even experienced executives routinely misread the impact of their nonverbal signals. This gap, often called the silent credibility gap, emerges when leaders believe they are projecting confidence, yet their teams interpret hesitation or uncertainty instead. Three common blind spots drive this disconnect: inconsistent eye contact, gestures that don't match the message, and micro-expressions that reveal doubt or impatience. Evidence from top executive studies highlights the impact of addressing these blind spots. Leaders who made small but deliberate adjustments, such as steadying their gaze or aligning gestures with their words, saw measurable improvements in how their authority was perceived. For example, when Satya Nadella shifted his posture and movement style during meetings, his team reported a significant boost in alignment and clarity, even though his spoken content remained unchanged. Nonverbal intelligence in leadership can be broken down into 7 dimensions, including spatial awareness, facial congruence, gestural precision, vocal modulation, temporal control, sartorial alignment, and environmental command. The mistake many make is focusing narrowly on just one or two areas. A leader might perfect their tone of voice yet overlook how restless hands or a tense jaw undermine their message. To uncover and address these blind spots, record yourself in a range of professional scenarios, delivering feedback, leading a meeting, or presenting to a group. Then, compare your own impressions with feedback from trusted colleagues, paying close attention to any mismatches between your intended message and how others perceive your tone. The most effective leaders don't try to erase all nonverbal signals. Instead, they choose which cues to emphasize and which to control. A well-timed pause can convey thoughtfulness, while a subtle shift in stance can signal openness or authority more powerfully than words alone. Mastering these skills means your verbal and nonverbal channels reinforce each other, creating a credibility boost that others instinctively recognize. But authority isn't just about control. Many leaders wonder if projecting authority means sacrificing authenticity, a question that has sparked debate and new research into what truly drives effective leadership. If you're finding this helpful, please subscribe and like, because it helps us create content that matters to you. Also, if you want to take your skills further, check out our executive education and executive coaching programs at execbeat.com. Balancing authenticity and authority is a skill that separates effective leaders from those who struggle to gain lasting influence. Stanford's longitudinal study on leadership effectiveness found that leaders who consistently demonstrated both authenticity and authority achieved 28% better business outcomes than those who leaned heavily toward just one. This finding contradicts the common belief that being genuine must come at the expense of strong leadership presence. The research highlights 3 critical intersections where these qualities reinforce each other: strategic vulnerability, calibrated transparency, and purpose-driven expression. For example, when Airbnb's Brian Chesky addressed his team during the pandemic, he openly acknowledged his concerns about the company's future. At the same time, he laid out a clear, confident plan for recovery. This combination of honesty and direction led to a 37% increase in employee trust and commitment to difficult decisions. Researchers refer to this as the paradoxical leadership effect, showing vulnerability can actually strengthen your authority when it's paired with decisive action. Breaking down authenticity, the study identifies emotional congruence, aligning your internal state with your outward expression, value consistency, acting in line with your stated principles, and relational genuineness, honesty in interactions. Authority, on the other hand, consists of decision confidence, positional clarity, and consequence management. High-performing leaders maintain balance by matching each authentic element with its authority counterpart. For instance, value consistency supports positional clarity when you turn down opportunities that conflict with your organization's principles. To put this balance into practice, use the 30-70 rule. Devote about 30% of your communication to human elements, personal stories, thoughtful doubts, or lessons learned, and 70% to decisive leadership, clear directives, firm positions, and unambiguous guidance. Reviewing your meeting recordings can help you spot if you tend to favor one side too much. Another practical method is the 3-layer disclosure approach for tough conversations. First, state the business rationale, authority. Second, share a relevant personal reflection, authenticity. And third, reaffirm the path forward, authority. When Salesforce used this structure during restructuring announcements, employee acceptance of difficult changes improved by 22%. Leaders who treat authenticity and authority as complementary, not competing, elements can adjust their approach to fit the moment. Sometimes, a situation calls for a stronger display of authority, while other times, genuine connection is more important. Developing this flexibility is a continuous process, one that shapes your executive presence over time. Building executive presence is less about perfection and more about steady, focused improvement. Studies show that practicing a single nonverbal behavior, like holding a power posture for 2 minutes before a meeting or using a brief self-affirmation before a tough conversation, yields faster and more lasting gains than trying to change everything at once. This week, choose one micro-behavior to work on. Practice it daily and observe how your confidence and clarity begin to shift. Remember, true presence comes from the synergy of self-awareness, communication mastery, and strategic influence. Small, intentional steps today lay the groundwork for strong leadership tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe and like, because it helps us bring you more free videos. And if you're ready to grow your career, visit execbeat.com to learn about our executive education and coaching.